Hi everyone, I'm Michelle of Michelle's Wig Reviews. Today I'm so pleased I have this adorable little pixie style to review for you on behalf of Wigs by Patti's Pearls. This is Estate by Wille and the color is Champagne Rooted. This is my very first pixie style review ever, and I have to say it took me a little while to get used to it. I never thought that pixie styles would look particularly good on me, but I actually love this one. I think this is just an adorable little style that would work for so many different face shapes, and can't wait to show you all the details. So first, let's just look at these beautiful layers. It's just an adorable little cut. And you do have a little bit of length around the ears, so you can just kind of wear it messy around the ears, or if you wanted to, you could tuck it as well. Now, some of my bio hair shows when I do that, but I've even seen, some fibers in the front and then the rest tucked. I think that's a cute look, but I really find that I prefer it just kind of messy around the ears. And let me just go ahead and I'll give you a quick look at her from all sides so you can see the length. Now, I find that even though this is quite short, you still can mess with these fibers a little bit and make them, more edgy and spiky if that's what you like, or voluminous, of course. If you wanted a lot of volume, you certainly could do that. Add a little product that's safe for synthetic fibers, and these are not heat-friendly synthetic fibers, so I want you to be aware of that. So you can make it more voluminous, you can make it more sleek, and flat to the head if that's what you prefer. So let's get a quick look from all sides. Here she is from the right and the back. Mess with those fibers, and that's the nape area. Very nicely done, I think. It looks very natural in the back and in the front and on the sides. So let's go ahead and look at the details for this style. We have an extended lace front that runs from about here to here on me. You're seeing a little bio hair here. Let me tuck that under as well as I can. But I love that we have lighter fibers in the front that creates a nice and natural hairline. If you did want to pull these up and away from the face just a little bit throughout the day, or if the wind blows, I think you can see that's a very natural looking hairline there. And then you have a full mono top, and so I do think you could create some scalp appearance in the parting space there if that's what you wanted to do. So just really an adorable little style. And next, we'll go ahead and I want to show you the cap construction, and then we'll talk about the color. So let's go ahead and do that. As you can see, here's that full mono top, and this allows you to change the parting space wherever you like within this area. And I think it also keeps the density nice and low on the top, keeps it from being too voluminous. If you have a longer face like I do, I really prefer not to have too much volume right on top. And this kind of a mono top really helps ensure that you're getting a more natural appearing volume on the surface there. And then we have that extended lace front. As you can see, you see the lighter fibers in the front there. Then we have ear tabs with metal stays, and as you can see, we have some silicone attached to the ear tabs, and then also to this extended nape. And if you don't have bio hair in those areas and wanted to use some adhesive, I believe it would work well for that. And it looks like this could just be removed with a seam ripper. I think these are just simple little stitches, so you could remove that if you prefer not to have the silicone. As I said, we have that extended nape, and then we have these Velcro style adjusters. Now, this is Ellen Ville's petite average cap, and I have a 22-inch circumference head. So I did extend these Velcro adjusters to the very edge, as you can see there. And this way, this cap fits me very comfortably. Of course, the open wefting in the back and on the sides creates a nice and stretchy cap. So really a lovely cap construction for this style. Let's put her back on. And that's how easy it is to change your look. Now, I did want to mention there are a few, this is a little unruly here, and I was so tempted to just steam this on a blockhead a little bit and bend it under a little. But I do want to try to show you these styles without styling them at all. and exactly how they arrive at my doorstep. And I find that if I just kind of mess with the fibers a little, then I can get that to blend in. So you could use a little product, as I said, safe for synthetic fibers, or a little steam on a blockhead to change any of that if you wanted to. So, all right, let's go ahead. Next, we'll talk about the color. Champagne Rooted is just a beautiful rooted blonde shade. And I think it's neutral leaning warm is the effect that I'm getting. And I just love it on this little pixie style. I just think it really makes it fresh and youthful looking. And let's go ahead and I'll read you the description for this color. It's described as a light neutral blonde, and I am seeing a lot of the lighter blonde, especially around the face, which I think is so flattering. And then we have light/lightest golden blonde blended with that. So you do see more golden blonde tones, and that's where that warmth comes in, but just blended beautifully. And then you have the shaded roots. And again, I just love shading, especially on blonde styles, especially if any of my bio hair wants to peek out. I think that works well and looks natural. And I think it adds realism as well. So I don't think this is at all too extreme or too long of a root. I just think it works really beautifully with these blonde tones. I do see more of the lighter color application in the front. And let me go ahead and I'll show you the nape. I don't think there's an extreme difference in the color tones in the back, but let me just show you. I think it's a little bit darker. So this is the nape area there, and then the front. So you can see there's a gradual change from the lighter blonde to the darker blonde as you reach that nape area. And overall, I think it's a beautiful, neutral, leaning, warm blonde shade. So I wanted to remind you that a state here can be purchased at wigsbypattispearls.com. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.